Let me show you about this very simple bar stool made completely out of 2x2 materials and a 2x6 seat. And as always, I'll have the build plans available. The link is going to be in the video description. And to start this build, I'm going to be using 2x4s. I'm later going to rip down into 2x2s. But as far as the cut list goes, you're going to need 4 2x2s at 25 inches. That's going to be for the legs. You'll need 2 2x2s at 16 inches, which will be the bottom supports. 2 2x2s at 13 inches, which will be the upper supports. And you need 4 2x2s at 8 inches, which will connect the frame together. We're going to add a 5-degree angle, parallel angle to the legs. And then we'll need a 5-degree angle on each one of the 16-inch pieces and each one of the 13-inch pieces that are non-parallel. After I have all my pieces cut, I'm going to take it over to the table saw and cut off the rounded edge of each of those 2x4s. So about a 1/16 of an inch. So I have a straight edge. Then I'll flip it around and do the same thing to make the 2x a little more square. I did the same thing for the chair, the matching chair to this bar stool. And I like cutting the rounded edges off. I think it gives it a better look, more clean look. And when it comes time to glue it all up, it also helps with that too. And once we have the rounded edges cut off of all those pieces, I'm going to set my table saw to 1.5 inches to rip my 2x2s. Because the 2x2s, we all know, are really 1.5 inches. So I'll rip all those pieces. If you choose to go the 2x4 route, you only need one 2x4 that's 8 foot. And here's when I'm cutting the 5-degree angles on all of the pieces except the 8-inch pieces. So that'll be the 4 25-inch legs, the 2 16-inch support pieces, and the 2 13-inch support pieces. And that 5 degrees just gives it a slight angle. You could also play around with the angle a little bit, maybe like a 7-degree angle to make that slant a little more vivid. But I like the look of the 5-degree angle. I think that's just perfect for what we need for this bar stool. So that's what we're going to go with. Now over to the pocket hole jig, my Craig 720 Pro. I'm going to drill pocket holes in all of the pieces except the 25-inch legs. And all these pieces will be the frame. We'll be able to screw the frame together with the 2.5-inch pocket hole screws. And even though there's a little bit that 5-degree angles on the bottom of these, it doesn't really affect the pocket hole at all, which makes it pretty easy. Next, we'll move over to assembly. I'm going to lay out my 2 25-inch legs. I'm going to measure 6 inches up. I use some tight bond too, and put that first 16-inch piece right at the top of that line. And then the 13-inch piece is going to be flush with the top of the legs. I'm going to use this clamp to help hold everything in place, which when you're doing pocket holes, these clamps work perfect. So they're not moving around on you. Same thing for the top. And once we have our screws in, we'll wipe off the glue and make our other side. This is going to be identical to the one we just made, so 6 inches up from the bottom, tight bond 2, and that 16-inch piece. You can see how that 5-degree angle on all those pieces help line up everything. And once again, we're using the clamp, some 2.5-inch pocket hole screws, and then that top one's going to be flush, just like the first one was. Get our screws in, take the clamp off, and wipe up our glue squeeze out. And now for the 4 8-inch pieces, we're going to have 2 on the bottom that are in line with that 6-inch mark, coming straight out from the side of the legs. And then the other 2 are going to be on the top, flush with the other piece. Using the 2.5-inch pocket hole screws, they'll hold these on. And once we have these 4 pieces on, we can put the rest of the frame together by connecting the dots. Getting everything to line up nice and perfect. And again, using that trusty clamp, we'll put in our pocket hole screws. This is a tight fit, so I'm using my 90-degree angle drill bit adapter, which comes in handy for those tight spots when you're doing those pocket holes. And I'll flip it over and do the same thing. Notice I have the pocket holes facing the bottom so they can't be seen. And the same for the top. The top doesn't really matter because it'll be covered with the seat anyways, but I usually just have them facing down. And I'm going to take it outside and get my Wagner sprayer. Spray paint it black. This is just a satin black, I believe. Nothing special about it. But if you're looking for a sprayer, I'd recommend this one. It's a very nice sprayer. I've had it for many years and it's never let me down. I believe it's the Wagner Flexio 3800. It came with the smaller container for the paint and then also a larger one for larger projects. But for most of the stuff I make, that smaller container seems to do the trick. I've never run out of paint. And if you do, it's just easy, quick refill. If I remember, I'll put the link down in the description also for this paint sprayer. And I also might do a video on those sawhorses. I've made those just out of 2x4s. And I've had those forever. And they're pretty awesome. So I might make a good video. Next, once this is all painted, I'm using 2 17-inch pieces of 2x6. These are actually cedar 2x6 that I had laying around. You could just use regular 2x6 construction lumber. I'm sanding them down. I'm going to do a round over to make everything nice and smooth. And then I'm going to do some gloss polyurethane, or polyacrylic, I should say. This is the water-based stuff. This is my go-to for a finish on most of my projects. Just like the way it looks, and it usually goes on nice and smooth. And it dries pretty quickly also. I like the gloss, and I also use the matte for a lot of projects. And once you got this on there, it's a matter of just screwing it to the bottom, or screwing it through the bottom of the bar stool so your seat's attached. And just like that, we have our bar stool. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.